go, so we can hop into that and talk over this and see what we have in store for this match.
And I think that coming into this match, there are going to be a lot of highly contested picks. The main question for me is T1 going to continue the upsurge that we've seen them throughout the playoffs? I feel like they have already powered up. Whereas Damwon Kia, it's basically been a continuous ramp up whenever they get to playoffs. Doesn't matter the state of the team before that. And in recent times, it's obviously, as we can see, yeah, T1. That's a lot of wins, but the most recent wins are the ones that should weigh the heaviest.
And as you could see in recent history, obviously it's a newer team, and Damwon Kia was pointed out in the pre-show, but they have a huge edge over T1. But that's because T1's been rebuilding itself for the last 2 years, and this is a completely different T1 that we're seeing tonight. This is a new version, final version that we've seen at the end of the year. Taking a look at the top matchup here, though, this is where things can get pretty out of control for Damwon Kia. Jace is, as mentioned earlier by GB on the desk, we've been talking about it for days. He is the one you think of when you think Korean Jace, and that's such a strong pick right now in this meta.
Yeah, Jace is kind of crazy, and Kana's got his own kind of pocket picks of his own. You know, we only saw him play Gwen 4 times, but it was 4 dominant victories, especially their most recent victory over Gen G in the playoffs was quite spectacular. So that's going to be really important for T1 as well. They need Kana to show up here and actually have a great performance up against Khan.
And that is something that coming into the finals, or into the playoffs rather, was a bit of a question mark. But Kana has become so much more stable all around, and you're going to need it. Because I think this is the big one. This is the matchup that a lot hinges on today.
And taking a look at this matchup as well, you know, as we move into the jungle, this is massive too. But that's one mismatch you have on the top side of the map. But in the jungle, this is another reason why a lot of people are putting right now Damwon Kia to 3-0. It's Owner's first finals. It's his first LCK season. He's a rookie player. Nerves are high right now for this player. He's an extremely aggressive player. He plays based on momentum. And him coming in as the main jungler at the middle of the season was what really turned the style of T1 into a winning one. But if he chokes tonight, or if he falls behind, you can't see that aggression. I do worry that T1 could fall apart.
Yes, absolutely. All eyes are on Owner right now. I feel like of all 10 players, we got to see what his form is like and if he can handle the pressure. Now, moving into the mid lane, obviously Faker up against Showmaker. Faker even saying himself that Showmaker reminds him of himself. And Showmaker, as of recent times, I think the most consistent player at the top here in the LCK. The guy is just insane.
Also, the main reason why I think Damwon's MSI run was still as good as it was, a lot of the games felt like it was this mid laner that in a meta where we've seen a lot of teams with like singular carry struggle was able to somehow still get it done, and didn't have the greatest of mid part of the summer split, but again, ever since playoffs have started, it looks just incredible, and he's up against the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, 19-4 in best of fives. He's played 23 here in Korea across his career. He is the greatest player of all time. He's the most famous player of all time. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to perform today. Now, this is a matchup where if you're pointing towards T1's strength, you can point towards the bottom side. Teddy and Keria will be the starting lineup for tonight. But this is a matchup where Beryl has historically been very sink or swim. You can see his aggression oftentimes pays off, but when it does not, he ends up being a big liability for Damwon Kia. You pointed out, actually, Chronicler, as far back as the spring finals, we saw it was an issue at MSI, and it carried into the summer season.
And the key question today is, I don't think it's whether or not Keria and Teddy are going to have prio, are going to be the stronger of the lane, but to what extent. Because if Damwon Kia can stem the bleeding, the biggest pressure point for T1 in this straight-up head-to-head matchup kind of disappears.
It's absolutely true. And, you know, Ghost especially has played a lot of a support role for his team from the AD carry position, which is kind of funny to say, especially because Beryl makes so many of those fights happen. Taking a look at the other AD carries, especially the T1 side. Keria, the best support in the LCK by a pretty significant margin. We can all agree on that. And Teddy subs in for playoffs, and then he does this. If you didn't see their best of 5 against Gen G, it was Teddy coming in the clutch, and he had one of the craziest Ezreal performances we have ever seen. And having this guy on your team, you know, it's a 5-person team that you have, but if someone pops off to that level, maybe you can sneak some extra wins. And guys, we do have our predictions ready to go, so let's see where everybody went with their votes. Now, I'm going to give a little spoiler. If you're a T1 fan, you might want to hide your eyes. Let's reveal some of the predictions that have come out here. As already from the Korean desk, you see 3 3-1s in a row. 3 of us went for the 3-0. Chronicler joined the Korean desk with 3-1. And then
Jisun spreads up here. That's what we got to see. Jisun went for the 3-1. Damwon Kia.
Yeah. Originally, we had Jungyeon, but she had hers on the pre-show. So awesome that Jisun gets in there. And Jonas Strong with the 3-0.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot more predictions to come through here, too. We're going down the whole list. You could see, again, massive favoring here from the Korean analyst desk for the 3-1 for Damwon Kia. You could see some, votes coming from analysts who did in Nuclear. Nuclear actually going for the 3-1 at T1. I hadn't seen a prediction yet.
Yeah.
Duncan as well, 3-2.
Duncan, a lot of 3-2 votes.
Jack it up.
강원기야 하나 둘셋
강원기야 T1 하나 둘셋
Playoffs as Cannon does path up, as you mentioned.
Oh, that was pretty quick. They're going for this. The flash comes in from Canyon. There's no flash on Kana, and a first blood at 2 minutes and 46 seconds. What a huge gank this early on in the game.
And I love the commitment there, knowing that there is no
Owner's getting in there. He's going to land that stun, but the teleport takes a while to get on top of him. Canyon, of course, no flash, and now the teleport coming in, but the stun landing once again, and everybody's getting into this fight here as the Ignite is not going to get the kill onto Canyon.
Faker flash!
He's flashing for this one and going through the wall. One more auto would do it, but he can't see him over the wall. We're 3 minutes into the game, and Faker might just die to the turret, although Showmaker's just going to laugh at him. Lands it, throws up the thumbs up, and that's it for Faker over here.
Get these early kills.
Oh, boy.
And they're run warping.
Poor Kana, man. He just can't catch a break. This is Rise and Trundle. How about Camille? How about all 3 of them get in there and bully? He's just going to burn down to the Ignite as Khan. He doesn't have to look at the explosion. We're going to want to fight you here. You're not just going to get this free objective, but the Rift Herald's already pretty low. To hit that eye, trying to get it down there. And now the engage going to be started off onto the level 6 Trundle. The exhaust used onto him as well. And they can't even kill him. They finally do get him down, but Faker's getting low now as Ghost is coming in from behind, but here comes T1 on the front side trying to take out Showmaker. That Rise not doing enough early on in this game.
Just rotate back, let them have that objective, because now they're obviously starting a fight from a position where you're always going to be at a man disadvantage.
Yeah, you get Canyon here, stun locked, you have the knock up there from the Azir, and it's really just a war of attrition you can't win without Ghost being here. Also didn't use his arrow until very late. Could have tried to use that for a little bit of extra appeal. Doesn't do so. They gain nothing from this.
Thinking about dropping a vid now. We got to fight up in the top side. The needles are coming out. Khan is going to miss the hook shot as the damage is coming out here with the Ignite, but trying to turn it back. Khan will be able to do it. I'm not even sure if he knew himself he was going to win that fight.
And it's those type of tiny wins that, let's not forget, Khan?
Oh, Khan, he doesn't have his Hextech ultimatum, but the sticking power of this Camille is kind of insane right now. And you can see the amount of damage that he has anyway. He's going to push Kana all the way out.
Instantly go down for Ghost and Barrel. They're looking to push that turret. They know they can force Teddy out of lane.
Khan seemingly still wanting to face check. He's like, yeah, sure. I'm fine. I mean, He had vision of Keria sitting in the brush, and he doesn't care.
For him to actually end up doing any sort of extended trading. We're going to watch this fight once again. And like you said, the hook shot doesn't actually connect, but you know what? At the end of the day, look at how much sustain he has. The mythic advantage here is massive. He has that Divine Sunder, and that's the reason why he ends up winning out, even with the Leeching Leer on the other side.
Really nicely done on avoiding the damage there as well. Of course, that is also one of the ways where, as Camille, you can be so deceptively tanky if you are able to use the Hextech Ultimatum and Vulnerability as...
Wow.
Yeah.
Trundle on the replay ends Trundle in live. The pillar value is huge, although Damwon, I'm not sure about this. They're going to try to force another fight around this Rift Herald, this one being the second one. As you can see, the engage, the Zenith Blade will miss, and that's going to be the key for Damwon to start up this fight as they get on in, and Keria is just blown up immediately. Beryl soaks up a lot of the damage, and he has a stopwatch. Faker is trying to carry this as hard as possible, and now Owner's got some value potentially on that backside, but it's just not enough, as another pillar is going to come in here from Damwon. Even slowing down Damwon a little bit, they had to walk around that one.
And they're just everywhere on this map. However, this looks like it might get an extra charge.
It's a lot of pressure from T1, and they're looking for a bit more. I'm not sure about that play, Faker, but begins the machine gun rise plays.
Ghost Arrow.
Okay, trying to get on in there, but here comes Faker, and look at that Emperor's Divide! He gets 3! And this is the team fight T1 we're looking for! This is what we have been talking about, as the damage is not enough to take out Showmaker. Somehow, he gets out of there, as the Gwen is going insane. I'm not sure, Damwon, you want to take this fight. Kana is ready and willing. He doesn't care that he's 0-4. He's a Gwen, and he comes in there and does insane damage.
Such a nice counter engage from Faker. You know, this composition has really nice counter engage when you dive in.
Yeah, if you're able to get that front to back, Gwen in any situation with the needlework can get so much work done. But honestly, Damwon Kia, the Azir is there. Faker sees you. Can't really get away with this, especially this close to a turret. And it's a really good punish by T1, and here you still see the power. The fact that Showmaker gets away here is pretty insane, especially considering there's a flash. The back end of this fight with Khan finally making his way over actually isn't too bad, and I think that even with how poor this looks, if Khan is here, this is salvageable. There's low health bars on the entirety of T1. Despite that,
I think T1 are going to have a decent idea this is happening, but the damage is insane from the Fed Rise already. Here comes Keria, puts down the ward, and now they know the damage is already there. As you're saying, where's the jungler? Owner's trying to get over here, but he cannot on time. And now, this is the thing about Damwon. They have Braum, they have Trundle, they have Ashe. If they don't want to fight, they don't necessarily have to, but they're going to wait in the bush, and I don't know about that one, as Kana once again is throwing out the needles, but the Trundle is doing so much, they're going to be able to blow up the Ashe, but who cares about that, as it looks like the wallets of Damwon are getting there at this point in time. Kana desperate to try to turn this one around, but the stun is going to go down onto Teddy, and there is the ace.
They enable Khan so much more.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And T1, they're kind of calling the bluff, and here we go! We're gonna scoop up 3 under the turret, but the damage is coming out here already from the Gwen. We got a one-on-one here in the river as Owner's trying to win that one, but the Zhonya's is completed. Showmaker gonna have some help from his friend, but he's trying to realm warp out of here. As the Solar Flare not going to get it done, but that is another big Emperor's Divide from Faker. He's still trying to win this one for his team.
And they made that fight happen. I said it wasn't possible. I said they didn't have the tools, but Faker walked forward and under turret, tossed it out. Now they've got control over this Baron Pit.
In Canyon, you can see flashless. He doesn't have health. They're going to have to let it go, as T1 will be able to pick up a huge objective. They take it away.
Possible fight for the third Drake here.
Yeah, and this is the thing, Damwon, they feel like they can go for fights like these after giving up the Baron. They don't have any split pushing pressure. They're just going to go in a straight 5v5 against T1. That's not necessarily what you're looking for, as here comes the Gwen. Kana gets in there. Going to have a very nicely timed stopwatch as now Keria trying to stun that backline, and Gwen does her job, but look at Showmaker. He's going insane, but it doesn't matter, as Teddy is full health as well, and he's trying to carry this one from the backline. Khan is gigantic, but Teddy trying to keep him at range here. The stopwatch is going to help out. As you can see, Teddy.
Power of Teddy.
He'll try to kite them out, but he can only do so much. Yes, he stays alive.
I'm so fat.
And also, Khan saves his Guardian Angel there, which makes any subsequent fight even more close. If you're able to pop that, you're going to feel a lot better. and I don't mind the call to go for a fight here. But again, you're trying to fight into a Braum, and yes, while he dies relatively early and Canyon is getting taken down as well, the actual damage dealers are all completely fine, right? Like the sustain that Khan has with this build, the Steric Shield, the beautiful use of the stopwatch here, means that still, Teddy can't go God mode because there is still too much damage.
To this point, that I think he's doing a great job. As now T1, they're just going to pull the trigger on this one. The teleport's already coming out here. The damage kind of insane already at 38 minutes. And you can see that Canyon, he's struggling to get in there. And Azir, Faker of all people, is going to be able to take down that Baron. But now Dalma looking for the fight. The Camille in this one. Huge bounce damage now from the Rise in the front line. But he's going to have to go golden. It doesn't matter. He's got backup from his team. And this skirmish, if you don't have a Viego, I think that Damwon should be able to eventually win it. Don't know if they can kill Teddy. They're going to give it a shot here as Khan doesn't want to let him go, and the pillar should be enough. No flash even used. Know if it's going to be enough. There are no minions up just yet, and the damage is coming out. That is big on the Solar Flare, but Ghost, he's got a front line, and he has the cleanse. They do have enough damage to take down the Viego, and they will have enough to take down game number one. Damwon will defeat T1 here in 39.5 minutes to take game one of the final.
레오나 나오고 그냥 20초. 잘해야 돼, 잘해야 돼.
끝낼만해.
야, 기종으로.
그냥 가면 피우빼.
기종으로 그냥 비우고 막아, 본 거.
네.
야, 핑크 받고. 아, 핑크 없네?
픽업.
기종으로 그냥 막아, 때리지
네.
마.
사워. 나안 줄게. 안 줄게.
점사.
아, 사워.
그랜 나왔어. 구지런 쳐.
끝났다.
구엔 기동 건부.
나 이거 터져. 아, 끝났어.
나이스!
나이스!
나이스!